boy, is it loud in here. Along with the music and the chants. Even we've got somewhat soundproof headsets on and we can kind of hear it.
I can not kind of hear it. I can all the way hear it. That is Drake's Cathedral. Those are Golden Hornets. They're going to keep going, and that's respect to them. In the meantime, we can talk about the picks and bans. Vitality versus Team BDS. There are 4 teams in our league tied at 4-2 right now. This is 2 of them. You're going to see the other 2 play at the end of the day. And already seeing some bot lane focused bans come out. The Vods and Zaya taken off the table.
I wonder if Caitlyn is also a ban from BDS. It's something that Vitality will instantly first pick unless they have some kind of response to it. Unless they want to play some kind of Zeri or Jhin lane. My god, it is really loud. They are going nuts, man. Yeah, Caitlyn has to be the last ban. Otherwise, I think it's going to be a bit of a toughie in the bot lane.
What is the option going to be? BDS really debating.
Oh, wow.
You heard the devs talk about it. BDS pretty good at building these early game leads. Going to see if they can convert them today and find this win.
He's taunting.
Photon looking over and taunting as he flicks through the potential option, but Gragas first pick. I think zero surprise there as Adam will respond with taunts of his own. Yeah,
Adam's laughing on stage. He's just kind of smirking at Photon. Coaches are laughing as well. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't go for Caitlyn there. Not opting into that. I think Caitlyn, Lux, Lucian, Nami, Zeri, Lulu. The classic combos are up. Aphelios is something that's risen in priority.
Oh, that one I like, yeah.
You like Aphelios?
Yeah, I like continue. Just please never say the LN combo ever again.
I also think Rakan is a really strong blind pick if you want to pick AD carry on 3. But
that one I do like.
Looks like we might have Zeri, Lulu. Wukong could be something to pick up here. Lee Sin if Shio fancies himself a Lee Sin here. Elise is still open. We haven't really seen that too much in Europe. Maokai. Oh, well, there we go. Elise.
Speak of the devil.
Speak of the devil. There she is. Now Vitality can match bot. Lucian, Nami. Easy option to Zeri, Lulu.
And I like the Zeri pickup, especially once you see the Vi taken away. I feel like it's one of the champions that can make her life difficult. But because the Vi's off the board, you don't feel like you immediately have to lock into Lulu. You can take your time. Your Vitality can immediately snap the Lucian, Nami. Wow! Woo!
This is exciting, isn't it? Dude, how much?
13-4!
Gonna...
Woo! That's right.
Wow.
Cheer, Berlin.
Is that
cheer.
A Lulu?
Cheer through the pain and the tears.
You know the best part about all of this is, Dracos? You know when we get to the next patch?
The best part is we're looking at top 4 bottom laners play the exact same bot lane matchup we've seen played for 6 months.
Don't even get me started. I have been through this for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 months of just...
It's still great.
Turmoil.
There's a reason it's locked in. I'm just saying I cannot wait for the group stage patch.
Let's just pretend we're excited about it.
I am actually excited about the teams and the players. Even if I'm not excited about the picks yet, but maybe the solo lanes will bring in that hot fire.
They will.
That we've been waiting for.
No. Yeah, you've got me gassed up now. I believe it. I'm expecting some kind of Olaf here. Actually, to be honest, I'm expecting Renekton, if anything. So hopefully Vitality ban that away from BDS, especially given that they're banning away things like Jax. I want to see a Renekton. I want to see a Camille. I want to see an Olaf. Something that can force top dives. Something that can get the Elise up there, because the Zeri Lulu lane you can play for, yes, but needs some explosive action on the map. Maybe Nuke goes for an AD mid. He hasn't played an AD mid yet, but we will see.
It would be interesting. Saw the Zed from Leader earlier today. Hey, I respect the BDS fan. Just get in there.
That is the definition of 1v9. He's actually 1v9.
There's an imposter amongst you.
Can we get a camera back there? That was epic. That was a pure 1v9.
Crowny's not appreciating the efforts of the Soul fan quite yet. I think he will at some point. Sion taking out the board. They do not want to let them front to back. Makes a lot of sense when you look at Lucian, Nami. I think where they start to fall off is mid to late game. They can still have high impact, but it's heavy focus on execution. That said, Nuke not going to go for an AD mid laner. Opting for Azir, opting for scaling. So a bit of a safer game plan. You've got Elise, who can be very powerful in the early game, balanced out by this kind of Azir.
Ooh, a Bo Lee Sin. Get me some of that Bo Lee Sin. Let's see how he performs. He hasn't played Lee Sin once this year. Hasn't played Lee Sin once in the LEC. Rising in priority jungler, can win 1v1 against the Elise at level 4.
He's on Gragas duty.
You think so?
I think he's on Gragas.
You think this could be a Perks Lee Sin?
Ooh, no. Okay, I didn't think they were going to lock the Lee Sin. But now that it's locked, I think it's a Perks Gragas.
Yeah, I think something like Talia here would work really well for Vitality. Something like Talia, something like Ari, something like Syndra, anything that pairs well with Lee Sin. Twisted Fate even.
Pedro, my glimmer of hope is we get Photon versus Adam in carry versus carry top lane. Please do not make me watch
Gragas mid, you know. Oh, they take away the Renekton. Nice. Pretty nice idea there, Dracos. I like it.
That's a fan perspective. That's not an analytical perspective. Gragas mid is very strong, but I don't always love it at these. You're obviously a huge playmaking.
Let's see an Olaf. You want to see an Olaf? I want to see an Olaf.
1v1.
Garen or an Olaf?
Thunderdome on the top side.
No Cassante. Don't pick Cassante.
No Cassante.
Don't pick Cassante. No Gnar, no Cassante, Adam. Come
Crocodile
on.
Versus Viking.
I see the smile.
Versus Viking.
Rock is good too. Rock is good too.
Is that good?
No, it's terrible. I hate it. They're full AP.
No!
Rock,
we want skill versus skill.
Yeah, but maybe full AP Rock is skill.
Full AP Rock is, yeah, okay.
Let him cook.
I'll let him. I'm happy
So
to let him
BDS
go.
is really AP heavy, man. Like they're playing Malphite, Elise, Azir, Lulu, and Zeri has magic damage as well. So I'm a bit worried later this game goes when Vitality starts stacking, because they have 2 or 3 champions that could get a Maw pretty happily, or a Hex Shrinker.
I mean, if Lee Sin gets ahead, he gets a Maw, Gore Drinker into Maw early. That is going to be able to 1v3, 1v4. Yeah.
Merc treads as well, so much value. So we'll see what happens. Vitality, a lot of skirmish potential. Gragas, Renekton, Lee Sin really want to look to get in your face and fight. Azir, Zeri, Lulu want to really scale on top of Malphite as well. So Elise is kind of... The Elise feels a bit out of place to me because, I mean, something like Wukong would feel better there because you're just pure team fight scaling, and Elise is just like, I will just threaten them with my level 3 cocoons and then I'll run away.
Elise is like your nanny. She's there to like make sure you're good until you can like,
just read you a bedtime story?
Yeah, until
you
you
wake up and you got 6 items.
Until you're potty trained and you're like good to go. You know, Elise like needs to usher you through that early game. She holds your hand, she guides you. And we'll see if she can do it.
I mean, Vitality just want to kick the door in. They're playing Lee Sin Renekton, so we'll see if the Elise can carry them through the early game. I'm a bit worried for them. They do have pushing lanes, though. I think the Zeri Lulu gets pushed into Lucian Nami early. The Azir can get pushed into Gragas until Gragas gets points in Q. 1v9 material on your screen right now. Just going for it.
And here we are, Team Vitality versus BDS. The fans are ready, we're ready. Let's get into game. I like it. I don't speak French.
Me neither.
It's tough to say. I think they're saying something along the BDS, you're a wholesome opponent. We respect you immensely. We feel like we're going to play with nothing but good intentions.
Yeah, in a very aggressive way, though.
We're manifesting the best game possible between us.
Love to see it. Sportsmanship.
Entirely arbitrarily assigned.
They tried to get a level 1 ward there, but BDS saw them with Labrov, so they're going to put a ward of their own into the jungle. Yeah, Lee Sin, it's a bit annoying for Lee Sin to put a ward down level 1 and swap the sweeper. Obviously, you want the ward jump, so... Yeah, they're not going to get any information here. Vitality in the bot side jungle. Shio will get information on Bo.
And tracking Bo in the early game is important because, as the desk highlighted, Bo has been a bit feast or famine. I kind of hate that label. I think he's just been, the last few games have been a little bit rough. We'll see if he comes into form again today. Right now, sitting at 4-2, 3 games left in the season. Neither of these teams are scared about elimination, but placement is still very important, and it's something that we're going to track, of course, over the course of this day. SK and G2 are also going to play later in the day, so at the end of the day, we'll have 2 teams tied at the top of the standings at 5-2. Find out which of these teams is going to make it up there. But I think pressure on all sides just to find that level of performance, especially before we head into best of 3s, where you really can't afford to have a bad day, because a bad day can cost you your tournament life. Yeah,
top 2 just so important. These wins in these best of 1s are everything really, aren't they? If BDS can take this win, then they'll hold sole possession of first place until that G2 SK game, and then we'll have 2 teams left tied at first place at the end of the day, which will get shaken up in the rest of the weekend. Nuclear Int already getting some trades onto Perks, looking for that mid push. Bo is going to get spotted on this ward on his blue side jungle as he dings over to level 2. Shio's going over to his red, and they'll both hit level 3, I expect. I wonder where Shio's going to go top. The thing is, ganking these lanes just feels really, really... You don't have kill pressure with his ear. You don't have kill pressure with Malphite.
Yeah.
These are just scaling no CC lanes until level 6. I think he has to go back down towards bot and contest Bo, you know?
Yeah, and I'm curious to see if we... I mean, at some point we're going to talk to BDS, and I'm wondering if their draft strategy with the Elise lock-in heading into that second pick phase was predicting that Photon would have to lock in the Renekton to deny the Renekton-Elise combo, and if Adam has been prepping this Malphite counter, and if this is something that's part of their greater strategy of cleaning up some of their mid to late games. Because when you look at mid to late game for BDS, very often they're drafting these early to mid game comps, a lot of melee champions, very execution heavy. This composition, hold that thought, Shio coming in. Easy combo, easy follow-up. Bo, where's he gonna go? He can't even get the red buff. Into the air, back down, flash out to safety, blast cone out, red buff ticking away, but Bo walking away empty-handed. Reset not quite gonna complete, and Shio gonna grab that red buff.
Good punish by Shio. He saw Bo going for a full clear. He did 3 camps back into bot. I really like the pathing he did here. The only lane he can impact is bot side, so fighting and pushing Bo out is really important. Can they dive? Can they look for a dive? Only 3 range creeps. I don't think there's any chance of a dive here. Shio's just hovering, making sure he can get these Krugs, and he's going to back off to Crab, I expect. Unless they can get the next wave in quite quickly, but Bo could cover, so it's a bit dangerous. Going to decide to back away, or is he? Upset just took a really rough trade. You know,
Shio waiting over the wall. Upset about to walk up to see if he can ward.
Shio. Flash Cocoon over the wall onto the Kaiser.
Good, using the movement speed steroid there and the spider form to just delete that ward.
So interesting, teams in the LCK here, if it was the exact same game state, what they do with their junglers, they just walk up. They don't dive them, they just push them back and then try to proxy in between the two towers. I don't think the wave was big enough that time. I think they need a cannon minion to do it, but interesting that Shio was still looking for it. If Upset takes a bad trade, then he's really easily diveable. So when Bo gets pushed out, he says to his bot lane, please don't take any bad trades, I have to go topside. We're gonna trade of crabs here, so small lead for BDS. Bo's looking towards top lane now. He's warded in the tri-bush though. No camps up is the frustrating part. He could go over to the enemy Raptors, but it's kind of risky. No flash.
Bit difficult. Not sure if that ward spots him. There's a ping, so I believe it does. We'll go over to Raptors. They're going to know this is happening. They don't have a lot of tools to respond at this stage. I think they're just going to be happy to give that up in the end, essentially trading Raptors for a red buff. But Bo's still only level 3.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to do the 2 points in E Lee Sin. Helps with your clear on Raptors on the second respawn. Wonder taught me that. Gave me some Lee Sin tips. Wow. The Extraordinaire was spamming it in solo queue, and he was like, why aren't you putting 2 points in E? It's better. And then I saw Owner doing it, and I was like, okay, you're probably right. Didn't believe him until I saw Owner do it.
Classic LCK fan. The second you see Owner doing it, it's subjectively
like, you know, you go to the
Wonder says it? Nah, not here for it.
It's like a second opinion, you know? You just want to make sure you're not going down some rabbit hole of int.
That's
Luckily,
fair.
I wasn't.
There it is. Good to get that insight, good to have that information. We'll track Bo as he takes over to level 4. Maybe get the observers to pop in my ear. It is 2 points in E.
And then he maxes Q
Professional
afterwards.
Lee Sin enthusiast, take notes.
Faster Lee Sin clear, makes your life a bit better.
This is not going to go well for him, though.
This is going to be horrific if he goes for this dive. Shio is hiding around the
control
corner.
ward. That's his only way to hop right now.
Ooh, but Perks is here. Nah, they can't dive this, can they? The wave's too small. Adam's too tanky. Nice try on the roam. Perks using his TP back to the lane to push out. Oh, Crowny dodging the Lucian Q there, making sure they win out on the trade. But tier 2 boots already for Shio. Sorcerer's Shoes means he'll be obviously quicker around the map, so he will look for these options, but I just don't think there's any lane he can really impact.
Yeah. And I think right now, BDS are kind of getting exactly what they want out of this early game. Shio neutralizing any aggression, getting some positive trades on the bottom side, stopping Lucian Nami from taking over too early. Of course, as we get closer to 1 item and his level 6s start to come through, could change as Photon just going to back off here on the top side. Good read on the potential play. Maybe we see more explosive opportunities for Vitality, but for now, BDS, they're chilling. I think it's safe to say that in terms of reliable execution, they easily outscale.
Maybe a shuffle on mid here. Shio's looking for something, just running from top straight through mid and now straight down to bot. But yeah, BDS are very happy with a slow game. They're very happy with things being even, Malphite going even, Azir going even, and getting these champions to 2 or 3 items. Front to back, very simple. Perks gonna miss out on the body slam. The bot lanes are moving up slowly. Maybe looking for Perks here. Is E's on cooldown?
No, the shuffle. They're going to fish for it, but they're not going to find it. Sonic Wave hits. Nuke trading ulti for flash there. Hugely positive cooldown trade for the side of BDS. Limits Perks' playmaking and also makes him vulnerable for any repeat ganks next time that ultimate is up and available.
Yeah, slowly chipping away. Maybe looking for a Dragon Shot here. No, LeBron's going to ward over the wall perhaps, just to make sure he gets a bit of information, but there's a pink ward there. So going through their next clears now. Bo, when he gets towards that level 6, he has a lot of options on the counterpart of Shio. He can look for mid, he can look for top, he has kill pressure in both these lanes. Lebrov's here. I don't think they'll have a kill here because Perks landed the E, so the cooldown's been reduced.
Yep.
And top crab is up, so Bo is looking for that. But again, winner of this will lock in first place. BDS going for a very standard team fight, front to back scaling comp. Vitality, we'll see how much skirmishing they can pull off.
And I gotta say, I'm kind of thrown by this early game. When these two teams, when we knew they were facing off and we looked at how they've been playing recently, it's been a lot more explosive. And Vitality have been winning a lot of their games without even necessarily needing to come into the mid-game or late-game stage. They've just been outclassing in the laning phase, and this has been surprisingly quiet. On the opposite side for BDS, they've been drafting super aggressive, more early to mid-game focused compositions, you know, Sejuani Renekton combos, Akali's in mid lane, like these 1-item, 2-item spike champions, and this time around, they've opted in for full scaling. Clearly very committed to getting first place, and I think when you're in a best of 1, scaling is always going to feel like a great option.
Just means the enemy team has to make the plays happen and you can just play to defend. And playing to defend is quite easy in most cases, especially when they only have 1 pressure lane or 1 win condition. In this case, Vitality's main one is top, but you pick Malphite. Yeah, love a good dragon. But yeah, I mean, scaling always comes down to the AD carries. We'll see how much impact Upset and Crowny can have in the later stages, because I think both of them having fantastic splits, 2 of our best AD carries here in the league. Crowny just having so much impact on BDS, and Upset being a life changer for Vitality.
Absolutely. And when we look at the last time these two teams played against each other, it was kind of Photon putting the team on his back. Botlane was actually struggling pretty immensely in the individual 2v2. This time around, much closer, but also a very different 2v2, very different meta. So see who can come out on top, who can bear that burden. I think late game, the later we go, Crowny's more set up to be that hyper carry. Really want to see Upset take off here around one item. Because otherwise I feel like this Lucian just... EU Lucian, I've said it's kind of bad. You know, I'm really ready and willing to be proven wrong, but this champion's win rate is not great.
Lucian's really all about confidence. The second you get Gale Force, it's really all about just dashing forwards on mid waves, forcing mid push, and you see it in the Asian regions where it's just non-stop aggression.
Yep.
We'll see if we can...
Ooh, Upset hitting a lot of Qs right now.
Yeah, Upset was playing in Worlds as well, the Lucian, and he had some good performances too. So I think he's definitely one of the better ones we have here in Europe. We'll see what he can pull off. Shield is taking the red. Bo managed to pick up that Herald. Of course, when you take Herald in pro play, it's very common to just instantly base and run bots because you stop any cross map and your base is faster. And in this case, he did. Manages to get his Krugs. Push back.
Oh, push back into the cocoon. Instantly polymorphed. Goodbye to the fat man in the mid lane. That's first blood for BDS.
Big play there. Punishing that flash from earlier on. Rinse and repeat. Perks' flash is not up yet. And they managed to pick up that kill, but the roam from Labrov means that Upset will pick up a plate alongside Kaiser. And that'll be the end of the play. Kill going over to Shio helps Elise bridge herself into the mid to late game. Of course, the champion doesn't scale that well. Similar to Lee Sin in a sense, but less playmaking ability, more pick potential, but not with a pick comp, so it becomes a bit complicated. Upset's level 6 though, Crowning's level 7. Labrov doesn't have access to that ultimate just yet, but you can see on the right side the purple bar is very close to going up, and on the next creep, he will level up.
Ticking up, Upset gonna be forced to back away. And again, close. Love the repeat gank. Clean, fundamental League of Legends coming in from the side of BDS. You get a summoner spell and you don't repeat gank, and I'm sad. Generally very disappointed. So just a nice heads-up play there.
Yeah, exactly. You're not sad, you're just disappointed.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that's way more effective way to get your point across.
It is. It really does hit home when you say something like that.
Your parents come in like that. Like I'm not disappointed.
Sad, I'm just disappointed.
I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I'm disappointed.
It really hits you in the feels. You're like, oh wait, damn.
Yep.
That hurts. And this is gonna hurt.
Yep.
A lot of gold over to Upset. Not that much of a lead.
Splitting these plates pretty heavily, but a pressure point on the map certainly. Maybe they just want to get Upset out of this lane.
Yeah, get this full tower actually, won't they? Sounds like a siren. Here it comes, getting closer.
It's kind of a call an ambulance, but not for me sort of moment. It's for the turret.
And they managed to pick it up. Thriller. 600 gold lead over to Upset. Needs to get towards that Gale Force ASAP with that serrated Dirk. I wonder what they're going to do with their bot lane. Do they take them out of this lane and put them towards top? It's really hard to play Lucian Nami into Malphite. I don't think there's much you can really do when he's under tower just farming the waves. On the opposite side, I think they can dive the Renekton pretty easily if they get Elise down there. But they're trying to counter pressure. Bo is based, and Shio is now around. Looks like the Vitality bot lane hasn't been able to take that base just yet.
Oh, level 9 Photon going for the all-in, at least dashing to the creeps, healing up a ton back, so just overall positive trade.
Yep, rock. No damage done there. Crowny's going to try to get some plates of his own. You can see Nuke is moving down. Shio is there. This is the kind of proxy idea that I was talking about earlier, but it's a bit later on and they have a cannon, so it becomes a bit easier.
Yeah.
So 2 plates over to them. 1 minute on the Dragon, I think, is the reason both teams are still hovering down here. They will need to get a base on the Lucian Nami if they want to fight this Drake. I don't think there's any chance they can win it otherwise, so maybe this next wave, Vitality will try to catch it, base, come back out on the map with a Noon Quiver pickaxe, and then take the fight around this Dragon, see if they can get Adam involved as well.
Yeah, would really love to see. Is this what I wanted to do? It does. Check in on some of the individual gold if anyone's going to be able to complete any major items. Very important for Lucian and Nami to back for the Dragon. You can see there 2.1k in the back pocket, but good that Crowny finds the cancel there.
Oh, they're going to lose so much if they base here. This is going to sting. The Lulu Q is going to spot out... Oh, I like what Perk has done here. He's run down to bot to catch the wave to stop the Zeri from getting creeps. Then he sent Bo mid to catch the next wave to stop the Azir from getting creeps. So that frees up Upset to take the recall before this Dragon spawns. So they don't lose creeps. They don't give over plates. Nice map movements from the Vitality mid-jungle.
So close to Gale Force, but he doesn't have it, and that is going to sting for the next Dragon. Still very strong, though, getting the pickaxe on top of the serrated Dirk. Of course, downside of going for the serrated Dirk is it delays that mythic spike, but early lethality is so oppressive.
It is. It really is. There's Gordrinker, there's Shield Bow, there's Sunfire, big spikes coming out here for both sides. What are they just starting to stack up now for Perks? 5 seconds on this Dragon. Shio looks like he's going to start it up straight away. Bow's in base. BDS just going to pick this one up for free. I think Vitality are really late. Looking at their map movement, they want to contest it, but Bo is miles away.
Yeah.
No cross map available, late to the objective.
And as much as we talk about, hold that thought, Vitality moving in.
They're going to try to take the fight, I wonder?
Go for it.
Oh my God.
Immediate fall, but the Zero doesn't quite push the back. Just a bit of a whiffy now from Nuke, and now the turn and burn coming in for Vitality, fully channeled calling. Adam basically unkillable on the front line.
What happened to that Azir ult? That was definitely on the Lucian. That should have pushed Upset back in as well. We'll have to see that in the replay, but Maybe it's got something to do with the knock-up or the cocoon, I'm not sure. Something stopped the illusion from being pushed back. Maybe he was out of range, we'll see it again, but great initiation from Adam. Picks up a kill there.
Photon getting chunked out.
No ult, no flash. Shio could slow chase with Smite here and wait for the next cocoon.
Gore Drinker being there is going to get used for the healing. And one thing I think we have to call out, we talked about BDS's composition being very heavily magic damage, and that is true, but right now, Vitality's composition is very heavily physical. As we get later with a Mandate, with the Gragas, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, but especially in these 1-2 item skirmishes, Adam is really hard to kill.
He is. He's basically impossible to kill at this point. There's no real AP damage. And there's no real damage coming out from champions like
I don't think what are they doing?
It doesn't really do anything, does it?
What are you doing, gang?
Nothing to bother him. And he'll get his passive back. He'll sit on the tower. Shio can come cover it. Leandri's picked up for Nuke. I mean, yeah, scaling. They're happy. Just keep the game like this. They're even getting dragons off of this, which is really big for BDS.
The fact that you not only have a scaling advantage, but you're also up 2 Drakes is huge. Let's take a look at this fight.
So Adam, great turn. Manages to land the ult on the 2. Now let's watch Nuke. How does this Azir ult not push Lucian? That is...
Oh, it's like the wild growth!
But maybe the wild growth stopped the knockback, it looks like.
Yeah, because they get hit by the knockback and then they get knocked up again and it interrupts the knockback.
Maybe that's what interrupted the push. Nuke might be dead here,
Nuke. Caught out, immediately going to get the follow-up, is going to try to go for the pushback, try to dash out to safety, but does not have the tools necessary. Vitality taking a bit of a freebie in the mid lane there. Not sure on the setup, but yeah, grabbing a second Herald of the game too, so Vitality firing back, starting to build themselves a small goal lead. Second Herald will be big for the pressure, but there's a response already in the mid lane from Crowny and Labrov, trying to push in and at least get a little bit of tower damage down.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened there, but looking at summoners, I think Nuke probably dashed over the wall trying to ult Perks, who flashed it, and then he was stuck with no escape. Rest of Vitality collapsing on him. Gonna take away this red buff here. I wonder if they're gonna Herald top tier 2. I don't think they have the tempo to do that. They're gonna have to back away soon. TP coming in from the Azir. Looks like BDS want to fight this.
Labrov in the area. Trying to Perks do a little critter. Gonna take him out before anything can really happen there, and already Bo out. Not gonna need to burn his flash either, so a quick pick and response. 2 minutes and 45 on the Dragon, so they're not gonna get a lot from that other than the gold, which certainly doesn't hurt, but no greater map play to go for.
I think the biggest resource BDS like here is time. Just as much control of the map as they can get, and as less pressure that Vitality can apply, the better the game state is for them. They might even get this mid-tier one actually, so BDS is gonna be in a great position. Zeri's getting close towards 2 items, the Azir now picking up another kill.
And there's really nowhere for Upset to play right now. You can see 3 members
kick him into the Renekton.
Kick back into the wall, the immediate fall. Nuke not able to make it over the wall! 2 in a row, that is crushing for the mid laner of BDS.
Clean block there by Vitality. The kick wasn't at the best angle so that Photon could follow up, but the CC was just enough on the knockback that the stun could come through. And those are the kind of picks they need to look for. Most importantly, they need to get them before the objectives are up, because they won't get much. They might be able to force down this top tier 1, which would be good. Vitality will manage to pick up something off the back of that kill, and they've got a bit of a tough task ahead of them in terms of getting vision. I feel like this pink setup on the top side jungle from BDS is a bit annoying for them to work around, but they're going to have to start transitioning that towards the bot side. But MR is already coming through. Photon's going to pick up the Mercury Treads. Bo's already got that Hex Shrinker. So we'll see how much... Because I feel like in the early stages, the AP damage share doesn't really matter. But then you get things like the Merc Treads and the Hex Shrinker, and then it becomes annoying. But then they get Void Staffs. But then you get more MR, right? So it's kind of like a back and forth seesaw of, does the AP damage matter? Early stages, no. Mid game, yes. Late game, not as much. Very late game, yes.
Yes, absolutely. And just track, I mean, how many items are they really realistically going to build? It's going to be Merc Treads and Hex Shrinker or Maw, and that's probably going to be it anyway, so. See what the response is. If you're far enough ahead on the gold curve, you can get that early penetration and take away a lot of those options. Right now, it's a 200 individual gold lead for Bo over Shio. One more in terms of kill participation for Shio. But still a lot of action, but really not a lot of kills in this game. Only 2 deaths for the side of BDS, both in the hands of Nuke, because he was caught out trying to make some plays.
Bo manages to put a control ward down, doesn't face check that bush. My eyes are on Upset. Can he dodge this Malphite ult? Needs some quick fingers to flash away from it, otherwise there's going to be a lot of follow-up coming out of the rest of BDS. Charge won't hit. Dragon's up in 30. BDS managed to stop this. Perk's going to push out top. Has the TP to join his team.
And I like that.
Vitality needs to push out that bot wave. Looks like it's going to crash, so BDS going to lose some creeps.
Yeah, and ultimately I like that BDS don't get over-eager trying to force there. Just take down the Herald, play it slow, because if you burn the Malphite ult and you don't get something, that is disastrous before the Dragon fight. They can just play for the Dragon, play for the setup. 2 out of 3. Thus far, looking to get 3 out of 3. Shio going up in the air, going to come right back down to the waiting arms of Bo, flashing out safety. Nuke on the backside, can push him back if they need to. Bo now trying to get back into the play. Bo managing to find the angle to kick to finish the kill. Perks on the backside, Bo getting pushed back. Bo down already. Perks needs to find a way to get out of this one. Photon now retreating as well. Adam versus Upset on the bottom side. Not a lot of damage, but he will eventually get chipped away. For now, though, overall, massively positive trade for the side of BDS, but they have no control over the pit.
Adam's going to TP back, though. They need to stop this recall. He was on a ward, luckily enough, for Vitality, but he's trying to base and TP. Vitality trying to cancel it, but I don't think they're going to be able to find him in time. And Adam, MVP of that fight, peeled for Shio. Actually 1v2'd the bot lane of Vitality. Killed Kaiser in the meantime. There's the TP back. Nuke's on bot wave. Needs to be careful. He's on top of 3 people. Has flash if he wants to get out.
He doesn't die.
Nope.
They don't have any magic damage.
He wants to go in.
Any other champion TP's in there, they're dead. But Adam's a tanky boy. You can see Perks is hurting a little bit, Upset's hurting a little bit, Photon's hurting a little bit, but it's not enough.
Round 2.
To break the health bar here.
Adam's ult on cooldown, Crowny's ult on cooldown, Nuke's ult on cooldown. This is going to sting a bit. Maybe BDS want to buy some time or even drop this. But they're walking up, getting mid waves in, trying to get some wards down.
Perks' ult is up, Nuke no ult, Crowny no ult, Lebrav no ultimate. We've seen what happens when BDS overforce fights without the necessary tools, but maybe they feel confident enough to try it here.
Upset has the culling soon. Kaiser has a tidal wave. I think they're just going to toss them the second they're up. But they're going to back away.
I like this. BDS, back away.
Perks.
There's nothing to play for here. And I think this is... It's good until it isn't. Photon now going in. They've gotten out a lot of ultimates. The Wild Growth now coming out. Shio going to go up. He's going to come down to the waiting arms of Bo, and Photon should be an easy kill pickup, but they don't quite have the follow-up, don't quite have the damage. Crowny ulting, ready to get things kicked off, but Bo's just going to kick him away. In goes Adam. Down goes... No! Upset walking away. Nobody can get any kills on either side.
Messy, 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 isn't it? Perks tries to force an engage, but misses and whiffs it. But then they flash onto Shio, who manages to live with the repel and the Wild Growth. Perks is going to chunk out Crowny here. I don't think he can kill. It's just going to slow him. He has the shield bow as well. Could look for the E flash, but he should know that the shield bow is up. Has barrier as well. I think he's just trying to stop his base. So, Vitality get the objective. No fight happens. It was a 2-for-1 on the blue buff fight. And a couple of summoners exchanged. Photon flashing in, Upset flashing out. Perks really trying to stop these recalls so that Vitality can get back on this map as quick as possible. But here's the pick again. So, Bo goes onto Shio, tries to kick him here, but he repels. Now watch Adam. Goes onto the bot lane of Vitality through the Nami ult so he doesn't get CC'd, and then he basically fights them the entire time, right? So it's a 3-man of Vitality up towards his top side, Adam versus the 2 on bot side, 4 versus 3, they managed to pull it out despite Shio dying, and the Madman himself just tanks all of Upset's damage, 3 levels up through a red buff, and they managed to turn.
He's raid boss status, at least when he's only against that bottom lane. Oh, it doesn't have Mythic yet. It's only going to get harder.
Yeah, it's going to get towards that Frostfire. Iceborne. What's the name of these days?
Iceborne.
I don't know.
Iceborne Gauntlet again, I think. It was Frostfire for a while, but they took the thing out. It's back to
you know, I just buy it.
It's the tank item with Sheen.
Yeah.
It makes you slow. Does it need a better name? I don't think so. I think it's fine.
The Slowy Sheen.
Slowy Sheen.
That's what we should call it. It gets more alliterations in the game.
Yeah.
So Baron's up, 3 minutes on the next Drake. Cloud Soul is quite handy for BDS actually when you're playing champions like Zeri.
I also just, I think people underrate Cloud Soul. That's what I'll say. I agree that Chemtech Soul is pretty meh, but I think Cloud Soul can be very powerful. Especially, again, Adam, yes, the initial ult is important, but an extra fatty movement speed steroid afterwards to stay on top of your target is pretty big.
Yeah. The base dragons are also quite handy in getting it around the map. So base is coming in, second item is being picked up. You can see Photon's going towards that Black Cleaver. Bo's going towards that Maw/Black Cleaver as well. I think they need a bit more armor pen if they want to get through this Malphite. That's the biggest problem that they're having at the moment. As much as BDS have a very similar damage share, they have a really tanky Malphite that they can't get past at the moment. And especially when you have a Lucian with no flash, a Renekton with no flash, that means your backline's exposed because the Malphite ult's undodgeable, but your front line has no engage because, well, the Renekton can't flash in. Perks is your reliable engage.
Well, he's getting engaged on right now on the top side. They're going to force out his ultimate. Won't be available, but again, 2 minutes, 14 seconds till Drake, so that cooldown force isn't going to mean too much quite yet.
Slowing the game down a bit here, BDS. They won't mind. Gold is even, but time is ticking. Need to get some more control of this top side. You can see Lebrav and Shio just teaming up to sweep out this vision, get rid of these control wards so the Perks is under more threat, so that then Nuke can push out top. It's just a domino effect what vision gives you.
Yep.
Now once they can push out top, they can start walking into this jungle and getting more deeper wards onto Bo, onto Perks, spotting out where they are.
And I love the way they're just covering for Nuke to push in here on the top side. See if Bo and Perks want to fire back. You've got 4 members now coming in. Perks going to be in trouble. No ultimate to disengage, but has enough teammates in the area. He should be able to walk that one off. Bit of poke traded back onto Shio. No follow-up yet from Vitality. But again, in the meantime, Azir is just free hitting that top lane tier 1.
Adam's in mid lane though. Photon's pushing bot. I wonder if he can get a full bot tier 2. He has Demolish. We'll see how much damage he can get down. So they're going to force Nash. Smart play. Adam's mid. Renekton's pushing our bot tier 2. Let's force a Baron to make him TP and then try to back away. if we don't like the situation. So Photon's aware, he's in a base. He's going to make sure he can TP in with gold spent. Lebrov's half HP, Perks is off to the side. Adam's looking to be engaged onto Bo.
Looking for Bo. They're going to immediately try to burn through the jungler to make sure that they can secure this Baron. 5,500. Now Perks can look to follow up. He's been polymorph for now. Vitality can look to turn and burn here. Adam perfectly frontlining for the team, but should eventually get cut down. Photon now going in, looking to keep this train rolling. But Adam's so tanky, they just cannot get through him. They're finally chipping away at that health bar. The Sonic Body's telling him, yes, he wants it, and he's gonna get it! Down goes the raid boss, and in go Vitality. BDS on the run. They overstayed their welcome in the pit, and Vitality are quick to punish. It's a double for upset.
Oh, the turn from Vitality. From BDS, sorry. The idea was good. Let's burst down the Lee Sin, get this kill onto the jungler, and then finish the objective at 5,000 HP. But Kaiser's Nami ult actually stopped Nuke in his dash animation, so he couldn't push Bo into his team. We'll see it again in a second, but this is massive for Vitality. The game's just been blown wide open. 20 seconds on Dragon. Need to get this Nash recall and look to try to force that objective down, take away the soul point potential for BDS. All the flashes are down on the carries as well. So let's look at this again. Adam's calling, let's go onto Bo, and Nuke is ready. But look at this tidal wave. Nuke gets stopped in between the animations, so he can't push him into Crowny. And now the Azir has no dash. The kick lands onto him, so then Upset punishes with the culling. Then they're way too chunked. They've got nowhere to run. Adam just being melted through when Crowny can't really hit. He's just afraid of Bo off to the side. And the threat and the poke from Vitality and them taking it slow means that they can chip away at this Malphite, finally get the finishing blow, and then they can get to the backline.
In the meantime, in live game, BDS are going to be able to grab the Cloud Drake, move them up to Soul Point, but Vitality are breaking open the base, getting so much money. And I gotta say, this is one of the things that I love about watching Vitality, is the second they saw those Azir cooldowns down, the second that they knew that the ultimate was not a part of the equation, they did not hesitate to get aggressive, to force that fight, because Nuke had no relevant cooldowns left for combat, and that is so big to see those window of opportunities to jump on them, because there are other teams who sometimes struggle, who would have been happy with just, you know, walking away with their lives, just sticking around to contest the objective or stopping the Baron, but Vitality just keep going, and part of what makes them such a big threat. They were close and a little bit behind at many stages of this game, but now 3K in their favor. See what else they can get done with this Baron.
Pushing in mid. No side lanes to play on right now. They've just expended both TPs. Don't really have a strong side laner either, but BDS don't have too bad of a wave clear, do they? Renan's Hurricane on Zeri, Azir.
Is bad.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they can look for here. Eventually, BDS might have to give this up, but then you're just basically getting a mid-tier one for the Baron. I mean, they got top tier 2, which was good, but no real waves to play on means it just turns into this Aram. Nuke's gonna go towards top to push out that lane because it's bouncing and they're bleeding creeps. So that means they might have to give this one up.
The only champion who can reliably hit that tower is Lucian, but BDS will back away because Perks has found a position on the flank here, just threatening the full dive. Lost the tier 2 on the top side in the replay, and I believe now losing the mid tier 1. Could lose the mid tier 2 here, but Vitality really don't have great tools to leverage a Baron. They get the money, 2.5k Baron power play around that. It's going to diminish a bit unless they grab more objectives, but past that, they're not going to get a lot here.
They're not. Looks like it's going to expire. The next play is this bot tier 2. You can see them setting up. Photon's pushing in a wave, Upset's pushing in mid. They're going to move down towards this bot side and try to get that. So that would be 3 towers, which wouldn't be too bad in a game state like this. Recovers a lot of the gold, makes it so you're 3-4k up. And then you can approach this next dragon fight with a bit more confidence. Now walking up here, does Adam engage?
Adam gonna go instantly in onto Bo, but gets locked up by the bubble. Still very tanky. Upset the base Last Whisper, but does not have Lord Dominic's quite yet.
Perks got mid tower from that, so the over-rotation from BDS, the 1-4 punish, the actual objective there was mid tower. And they managed to pick that up. I think they'll get bot tier 2 as well now, with Adam not having ult and 10 seconds left on Baron.
Ooh. Photon is gonna try to burn through! One shot! One kill, the tidal wave now fishing for the follow-up, will not find it.
80 carry down.
This is big. Baron's gonna fall away, but the waves are being pushed in. Vitality. No other objectives to play for on the map quite yet, but can back away. They broke so many tier 2s, there's no way. The initial hold from BDS was incredible, but the call to put Perks in the mid lane paid off so well.
Yeah, so I think this just fell apart here, this defense from BDS, because Nuke wanted to push out top. He saw the top wave was really bouncing towards Vitality and they'd lose a lot of creeps, and in the long run, they would have lost more gold, but I think that snowballed into them overcommitting bot, thinking they were rotating down, and then Shio having to hold mid, so Vitality punishing. Good macro, managed to find those towers, find the pick, find Crowny, and now the real item spike starts coming through.
And at the start of the game, we talked about how Bo had been, you know, having some rough games here and there, and when he got his red buff stolen away, I wasn't sure if this was going to be a similar story, but 4-1-3, 100% kill participation. That last call to just instantly burst down Crowny. I mean, clean play thus far, and those are the kind of plays on Lee Sin that can make him feel like a champion that scales well. If you can find those angles, if you can find those win-of opportunities. Not that that one was particularly flashy or fancy, but those are the calls you have to be ready to make.
Yeah, and the amount of damage that Vitality has got off the back of that. They have double Black Cleaver, a Maul, and they have Lord Dominic's on upset, so this Malphite should get melted. Gone for the double Negatron, actually, trying to avoid a lot of Perks' damage, interesting enough there, Adam. So we'll see how that pans out. 1 minute on this Rex Dragon. Does BDS fight it? I think the call is probably just to give it. Wait for Navori, wait for 3 items, wait for Void Staff. I think time is their best friend, and they're overforcing a little bit. Vitality's getting the better hand of them. That Baron has cost them so much. They need to recover a bit.
Yeah. And again, even if scaling was in their favor, they really had such good control over the game, but it's getting a bit over-eager to force a play. And Vitality, again, punishing that lack of patience.
I like what Vitality's doing here. Dragon's up in 40, yes, but we won't give you anything. We're going to take all your jungle camps, keep deep vision, and you're going to have to group up if you want to find a way to stop this. And they are grouping up. See if they actually contest here.
You can see all of BDS just walking in behind Adam, knowing that that's their only safe way to contest vision.
Yeah, but look at top wave. I feel like BDS have a really easy option here of just clearing out mid and moving into top, trying to cross-map here from this Dragon. But Perks just goes in.
Aggressive, he's taking so much damage. They're just going to try to burn through the Dragons, but he goes golden. He buys a brief moment. Wave going to hit 3, still untouched backline for the most part. LeBron now going to be in trouble, but massive, massive cast coming in. Upset now on a rampage. BDS standing strong for now. 1 kill against them thus far. Adam taken out of the equation is big. Photon off to the side. Crowny into the waiting arms of the Crocodile. Yep, Croc, baby. He's going in deep. Bo now following up, and Nuke got nowhere left to play. Another beautiful fight from the side of Vitality as they split apart BDS.
Running for the hills here, the jungle support. They have a mid-wave, 45 seconds on Nuke, but they're going to chase down here. It looks like Bo will not land the Q. LeBron's going to flash away. Perks off to the side. He should be able to find the Lulu.
Cheeky belly bop. Q going to go wide a little bit, but they're taking their time. They just descend.
Yeah, Shio needs to die quick. It doesn't matter. Baron's up in 3 seconds. That's as good as gone. He can try and escape, but he's got nowhere to go, really, does he? Bo's going to go around the side to mark him.
Oh, dash to the spiders.
Could just repel to the Gromp, but it's not up.
Oh, Photon's taking his time. Yeah, that's just going to donate that over to Upset.
Big kill. So what? BDS are just walking up on mid-wave like they own it. Perks, it looked a bit into him walking up and trying to fight all 5 of them.
That was an insanely high-value stopwatch, because it was he was absolutely griefing until you check that item bar and you see a stopwatch and you're like, he's a genius.
Yeah, you've baited them all to thinking that there's a fight, but now he's Sonya's and everyone's committed so that there actually can be a fight and Vitality can win. So BDS getting sucked into the skirmishes a bit too much, just losing so much of a lead. The game felt like it was in their control, but now they're all of a sudden 10,000 gold down, facing a Baron, and it looks like Vitality will pick up that Dragon as well, so no soul for them. And I think the victory lap is on the way.
It certainly has to be. 4 items to 2.5. I was critical of the EU Lucian Nami, but Upset definitely showing us he's an exception to what I felt was the rule.
Perks is Dragus this game, man. Like, there's been barrels. Like, I saw one fly past the caster desk a second ago, and then I've seen ones land onto 2 or 3 people, like this last fight. You know, this last fight, his ult was insane, but he just walks up into BDS, says, we need to fight, so I'm going in. And then he baits them all into engaging with his stopwatch, and that just makes it so Upset can do damage. Bo can be ready to engage. And then once he disengages, he throws his ult to make sure that they can't escape, because BDS here are calling to back, it looks like. And then the barrel was big.
And he got so many cooldowns for free. AP Gragas is nasty. He should have died, but there's just the damage reduction is so high. Yeah. The health pool is so high. He manages to live through that one, and now it's easy cleanup. The second BDS are split up like this, Photon and Bo just get to run rampant. Upset as well.
Oh, Nuke flashes with the... he messes up the combo.
Okay, I also got to say, the Bo show has been real this game, and Perks has been doing wild stuff, but Kaiser, every bubble, every tidal wave, Nami looks so OP in this man's hands.
It does. He's been stopping a lot of BDS's tools, especially the Azir most of the time. I just wonder why BDS is even trying to fight that. They could just give up second Dragon and just try to stall the game out, but now the game is slowly falling out of their hands. Well, it basically has. I don't know what I'm on about. Perks is pushing in top. Looks like a 1-3-1 setup here. Photon has the TP. Crowny and Nuke are overcommitting both carries here to clear out this top wave, so I think that exposes mid a little bit. We'll see if Vitality decide to walk up. Crowny's now on his way back over, but this tower is dead. Bot tower is going to get chunked out. Photon has the Demolish, and that's going to get melted. So, BDS, what's the plan? Drop 2 inhibs or look for an engage?
I mean, this is the struggle, right? Because there was a point in time where you could kind of wait early in the game. You knew you were scaling composition. That point has passed. You are in a stranglehold right now. They are choking you out of the game, and you need to make a call at some point. Right now, the call is for Adam to walk up and just kind of slap Bo a couple times to very little effect, but maybe feels better about the status of the game.
Photon TP back. It's going to start pressuring that bot inhib. So this is the power of 1-3-1. Not very common in today's meta. Normally you go for things like the 1-4, but I think because they had double TP and because they probably want to avoid a just straight up 5v5, they're going to split them up a bit.
No reason to group for Malphite. No reason to group for the Azir or Zeri damage output. I like the call to split up, but could pose a risk. Right now, though, Photon just does not take a lot of damage. Force of Nature plus Goredrinker plus Black Cleaver has a stopwatch as well. He is not a viable pick target if Vitality are anywhere in the area.
Vitality don't feel confident enough to walk up and take the inhibs. They manage to take all 3 of the inhibitor towers, but they don't crack open any of the inhibitors for super minions yet. Just a little bit scared. I think because Upset's flash wasn't up, they were a bit hesitant. They don't want to throw the game away, wait for Upset's flash. That'll be up in 10, and now they can start to push forwards a bit more.
KO's also coming out, so more tools to limit the impact of at least the Elise in this game, as well as the Lulu. And it's just going to get harder and harder. Between the Lee Sin and the Lucian, you've got, you know, more than half of that 10k gold lead, almost 4k apiece between them. The Renekton only getting further ahead, and if even Renekton normally isn't a champion that scales super well, if he gets on top of Crowny at any point, Crowny cannot play the game.
Winner of this locks the group stage, so you can lose the rest of your games no matter what, no tiebreaker scenarios, you're in for the next round.
You are guaranteed a minimum placement of 8th.
Easy.
Locked
from first.
That's all that locking group. That's so funny because it feels like such a big statement because I'm so used to thinking of group stage as worlds.
Yeah.
But you've secured top 8, which is a big deal when you think of how hectic this weekend could be. All of the potential crazy tiebreaker scenarios. Trevor's really hyped about a few of them.
Stress reliever. You don't
reliever.
You don't have to be in the Royal Rumble of just fist fighting of who's getting out.
Get a week break. If you sprint it from here on out, it's okay. You can recover in best of 3s.
And Vitality look like they're very close to that best of 3 stage. Of course, they did finish first place in our winter split as well, just bombing out in that playoffs or group stage best of 3 scenario.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're waiting, just waiting for more objectives. Waiting for the Baron to spawn, waiting for the Dragon to spawn to give them the confidence to push in. I mean, they're very close to double Guardian Angel, very close to things like the Rabadons on perks. They don't want to rush it. They don't want to throw this away. They know that if they screw up a team fight and BDS gets some kind of map control back with that comp, it's going to be almost unrecoverable. Much better scaling, much better team fight, but overall, a very slow game up until BDS went for that Baron, and I feel like the game just kind of exploded.
And now we're right back to slow.
And now we're right back to slow. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Taking our time here. Sometimes League, you know, what is it, chess boxing, like Yamano. Sometimes it feels like boxing, sometimes it feels like chess, to completely incorrectly quote that example.
What about chess boxing?
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's boxing, sometimes it's chess.
Would you just combine them like Ludwig's Vent?
No, I can't.
Just play like an Aram, Howling Abyss, 1v1, 5 games. After the first game, just box for 5 minutes.
You convince the content team, and I'm in.
You want to do it again? I think you kick my ass.
No, I don't want to box you.
Okay,
I would
good.
never.
Good.
I'm past that point in my life where like young guys have to be like, I could take you. I'm past that point, bro. I can't take anybody. I'm not here to fight. You know
we'll play the Aram games.
Yeah, we'll
play Aphelios 1v1s.
Bro, I'm gonna feed in the 1v1. I'm not trying to feed in the ring too. You know what I'm saying? Like
double kill, double combo.
The ego can't come back from that.
Absolutely.
Well, here's a new ring. It's the Dragon Pit. Vitality win that one pretty
more like a horseshoe.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like a crescent moon.
Crescent moon.
Yeah. Is it kind of? It's like a circle with an opening in it.
You could probably draw one in there. Ooh, BDS, sneaky. They've snuck into the enemy jungle.
Ooh, but Perks, he sees the trail. They've left behind the trail of the Scuttle Crab. He knows something's afoot. Detective Perks, he's seeking. He found them! Oh, but who's going to kill who now? Perks getting burned through, trying to get out to safety. Shio on the hunt. So hungry to find a kill, so hungry to take down Perks. The tidal wave says no.
Photon's
BDS,
pushing.
They're going to flip it.
No, just go Baron. Yeah, just go Baron. Photon might end.
on the bottom side. Photon just looking to end the game. They can truck through this one incredibly quickly. They have the power of Crowny there. Bo looking for an angle.
They're going to get this. They're going to get this. They're going to
burn
get out
through
as well.
They need to make it out of this.
Photon
does connect. They managed to find a way.
Oh my god, Upset.
Gives his life. They cannot cancel the Malphite. The Baron will be secured, but at what cost? BDS find themselves with a glimmer of hope. How long will it shine?
Daylight robbery. How have they just walked in and taken a Baron? Vitality weren't even there to respond. Lebrov's dead for 30 seconds. Let's see what they can get from this. Bot inhib fell. Mid and top are up. 3 inhibs being taken out would be as good as done, but BDS have a lot of wave clear. Sniffing some Copian over here, but we'll see if they engage here. Nuke's trying to bait out Bo's insect. Didn't actually commit to it. Adam is very tanky boy.
Oh, getting shredded.
One more inhib on this top side.
Going to take down Upset, gets caught out. Is there any follow-up damage? No! Immediately, the Mikhail's coming through. Healing coming through. Upset untouched. Crowning trying to get forward, but he's got no mana. Now the wave going in. Crowning just gets alley-ooped into the waiting arms of Upset and Kaiser. And it is just an absolute dunking here in the mid lane. Nuke holding on for all that he can, but Upset goes in again.
He has no GA now. It's proc. Labrov's there. Can he find anything? The cocoon.
LeBron take it down.
Gold.
1K gold.
Dinner's on
down.
Nuke. Let's see if he goes for more. Labrov's right behind him. He has heal as well. There's no objective. There's nothing they can do from this, but they've held on, and they've just got a lot of gold.
Upset leaping into show dominance.
I think he was trying to finish off Nuke, but he has stopwatch. Didn't have enough damage to pull it off.
Respectable.
Let's look at it again. So, BDS 4v5 trying to hold, but Perks is kind of low on photons on bot wave. Adam decides to just send it onto Upset because they're losing this mid inhib and they're going to lose the top inhib as well. Focus splits straight onto Perks as soon as he flashes away, and then Photon here tries to turn onto Crown. He says we need to start going forwards here, we're going to lose the fight. Great kick from Bo. Good kick flash, but then it's a 1-for-1. Bo falls to Nuke, and now it's a 3v4, but Labrov's respawning. What does Upset do here? He gets the Nami E.
Bam, bam.
Oh, double crit, yes, but he didn't get the Q off. Don't think he would have died either, though. And then on the respawn, instantly dead from Nuke. Wild's growth and redemption just to make sure he's all right. So now BDS can maybe start to fish for some control.
See, the great thing about League of Legends is we're very results-oriented in general. I think it's just a natural way for people to be. So if Vitality win the game, that's a haha whatever Upset died in mid lane play. If Vitality lose the game, it's why, dear God, did you give Azir 1,000 gold for
your
free?
fault.
I'm not gonna say it's all his fault, but
I'm going to say it's all his fault.
that's the kind of play you're gonna make when you win the game. If you lose the game, that is
And BDS just outscaled Forehead. Managed to sneak away that Baron, and now that is a Malphite. Observers, can we click on Adam? How much health does he have? I'm going to say 5k, 4.7.
4.6. Just a
4.6,
casual
so-
545 armor.
Holy. Oh, well, he's
going
decided
into
to go
Perks.
in.
Perks now getting pushed back. Perks going gold at the tidal wave is here, but is it going to be
He's
enough?
dead, he's dead.
Oh, the Attack on Titan theme song is playing. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
What is going on?
Adam
BDS is
just pushing in, unrelenting. He will not be stopped. Bo now trying to kick it. Crown him. Get off Crown him. Crown him. He's making out BDS. They want to lock him. Group stage. They want to take out Vitality.
Bo, GA, can he get out? I don't think he can. Where's he war jumping?
Bo's just running.
He ain't going nowhere.
BDS. They're out here to close the game.
What's happening? Then what happened in the last 5 minutes? BDS are on the Nexus.
They will not go quietly.
Upset has no sums. Adam has TP in 9 seconds. Are they going to end on this wave? They don't have
can do
Baron.
it. Upset versus the world.
Who's going to win?
One into a
TP in
beautiful
1
play.
second. Here he
Can he
comes.
balance the scales? The TP there to protect the cannon.
Kaiser.
And again, here comes the armor.
Oh my God, look at him, look at him.
Down the mid lane. He will not be
Look at
stopped.
him.
Oh, the damage they're shredding through. They need to finish the game. It's a beautiful tidal wave. They're trying to protect something versus the world, but no. He cannot quite kill the AD carry. Still, they stand strong. Photon tries to buy time, but the Nexus is open. BDS have locked groups.
This is what peak League of Legends looks like, and it comes from Europe. BDS win out on a team fight, holding their base. They sneak a Baron, and from there, Adam just, I mean, he was recalling. Adam was basing, and then he just thought, you know what? Let's just kill Gragas. Just ults onto Perks, kills him. Next one walks up, another kill, 3v5. It's over. Vitality were 10k up 5 minutes ago, before the end. 5 minutes. BDS lost groups, and they're first place.
Yes. They'll be joined by one other team by the end of the day, but currently BDS sole possession of first place.
That was chaotic.
And